Some engines aren't failing by accident, they're failing by design. 13 of them share a pattern of shortcuts that look brilliant on paper and brutal in your wallet. Today we pull the covers off those choices and the mile markers they target. We'll reveal why a tiny turbo paired with long oil intervals equals varnished bearings, how early direct injection invites carbon buildup, and why a cheap cam drive can eat itself from the inside out. No scare tactics here, just the exact failure mechanisms and the service intervals that flip the switch from fine to fatal. Number 1. Ford 1.0-liter EcoBoost 2011 to 2018. The Ford 1.0-liter EcoBoost sold you on awards and efficiency. Then some owners met white smoke before 60,000 miles. That wasn't a gasket hiccup. Internal coolant passage cracking and a weak Degauss hose let coolant vanish, overheat the head, and in bad cases, hydrolock a cylinder, often just after warranty ran out. Dig deeper and you find porous head or block casting concerns, early thermostat housing leaks, and turbo heat soak, cooking the oil to a crisp. Stretch the oil interval and you varnish the turbo feed and timing bits until they give up on you. EU and UK recalls and field actions targeted the coolant pipes. US TSBs eventually followed suit. Number 2. Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8. A faint rattle at idle on a 5.4-liter Triton V8 might not sound like much until it grows into a 4-figure repair. Plastic chain guides wear, tensioners lose bite, and the variable cam timing phasers start bleeding down. Add long oil intervals and sludge narrows the passages, oil pressure sags, and the phasers knock on cold starts while the chains slowly chew through the guides. Then the costs stack up. Early 2-valve heads risk damaged threads during plug service. 3-valve heads love to snap plugs clean off on the way out. Ford issued TSBs for phaser noise, updated phasers and solenoids, and plenty of owners turned to lockout kits and higher volume oil pumps. Budget somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000 when that rattle comes knocking. Number 3. Chevrolet 1.4-liter Turbo Cruise/Sonic. It promised big car torque in a compact cruise or Sonic. So why are owners constantly topping off coolant and feeling a soft turbo? Start with the intake manifold's built-in PCV check valve. When it fails, you get lean codes, rough idle, and rising oil consumption that sneaks up between services. Coolant creep shows up next. Plastic water pump and thermostat housing sit right beside hot turbo hardware. Decks cool and heat age those plastics, cracks form, and coolant slowly vanishes. Stretch the oil intervals and the turbo's oil feed bakes into carbon, starving the bearings. Throw in the telltale wastegate rattle and underboost, and you've got a money pit disguised as a fuel sipper. Number 4. Chevrolet 2.4-liter Ecotec. Chevrolet's 2.4-liter Ecotec looks harmless under a family hauler until you're adding a quart of oil every 1,000 miles. That oil isn't just disappearing, it's starving the timing system. Low-tension oil control rings stick in their grooves, the PCV system lets blow-by ramp up unchecked, and the oil level drops fast between changes. Chains stretch from lubrication starvation, and once that starts, the damage cascades. From here, we're about to cross into European DI turbo territory, where flawed pistons and tensioners start a different kind of countdown. Number 5. The Volkswagen 2.0 TFSI Early Gen. Smooth, torquey, modern, until it refuses to start, and you're staring at a repair estimate that includes bent valves. The early EA888 Gen 1 and Gen 2 2.0 TFSI engines carry a timing chain. Tensioner with a check valve that bleeds down after shutdown. On restart, the chain slackens, can jump teeth, and timing goes out of sync in an instant. The domino effect is predictable. Long 10,000-mile drain intervals thin and varnish the oil. Tensioners collapse and guides wear thin, while direct injection stacks carbon on the intake valves and roughs up the idle. Add crankcase vacuum mismanagement, PCV failures, and rear main seal leaks, and this engine becomes a ticking clock. Mid-roll CTA. If you're finding value in this breakdown, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. We dig into the engineering no one else talks about, and there's a lot more coming. Alright, let's keep going. Number 6. Volkswagen 1.8 TSI Generation 1 and 2. Volkswagen's 1.8 TSI Gen 1 and Gen 2 looks friendlier than its bigger sibling on paper. Yet the same timing story plays out under the hood. Early chain stretch and a weak tensioner show up even sooner when short trip driving and direct injection wash fuel into the oil, thinning it and speeding wear. Add a water pump and thermostat module that loves to seep, and you've got creeping coolant loss on top of everything else. Hear a rattle at startup? That's your warning shot. A leaky tensioner check valve lets pressure bleed off overnight, the chain goes slack, and seals suffer when crankcase vacuum goes haywire, often popping the rear main seal. TSBs and updated cam bridges and tensioners exist, with class action coverage in some regions. Check if yours qualifies before you pay out of pocket. Number 7. BMW N20/N26 2.0 Turbo. BMW's N20 and N26 brought punchy torque and better fuel economy to the lineup, but some owners paid dearly for that refinement. The weak link is the timing set, plastic guides that degrade with heat and oil contamination, plus an oil pump drive sprocket that can wear down and drop pressure. When those guides crumble, the chain elongates, slack builds, and a cold start rattle is usually the first sign something's wrong. Ignore it and the chain can skip teeth, bending valves in a heartbeat. Valve cover and oil filter housing gasket leaks lower oil pressure further and accelerate the slide. BMW issued service bulletins, extended coverage in some markets, and faced lawsuits acknowledging premature wear. If you own one, don't wait for the rattle. Inspect the chain proactively. Number 8. BMW N63 V8. Twin turbos sitting in the valley deliver instant torque, and the heat sits right there with them. That hot V layout traps temperature around coils, injectors, and valve stem seals until they harden, crack, and leak. Direct injection adds fuel dilution to the mix, and long drain intervals push bearings and timing hardware over the edge. Oil consumption spikes fast. BMW's N63 customer care package tried to stem the tide with new batteries, shorter oil intervals, and updated valve stem seals. Yet many owners still reported turbo failures and continued timing wear. Reports of 1 quart burned every 500 to 1,000 miles were not rare. Valve seal jobs run around $6,000. Replacement engines can top $20,000. The danger zone clusters between 50,000 and 90,000 miles. This is not a cheap V8 to live with. Number 9. Audi 2.0 TFSI oil consumption era. Owners of the Audi 2.0 TFSI kept a spare quart in the trunk for a reason. Low-tension piston rings and PCV calibration let blow-by carry oil straight into the combustion chambers. Direct injection piled carbon on the intake valves, so misfires and a rough idle joined the party, and the oil light became a routine companion rather than an emergency. Dealers ran formal consumption tests, then installed revised pistons and rings as the sanctioned fix. Long drain intervals made everything worse by thinning the oil and accelerating wear throughout the engine. Audi responded with service campaigns and settlements in North America and Europe, especially on CAEB engines from the late 2000s to mid-2000s. Watch that 40,000 to 80,000 mile window closely. Do the consumption test early, update parts if needed, change oil at 5,000 to 7,500 miles, and walnut blast every 60,000. Number 10. Subaru EJ25 Boxer. Here's where things escalate. Years of head gasket material and coating decisions led to external leaks on many naturally aspirated cars, while some turbocharged variants suffered internal coolant-to-cylinder or oil passage breaches. Performance trims add ringland cracking under higher cylinder pressures. The open deck block flexes under heat cycles, nudging the gasket seal until it eventually gives way. Subaru even pushed a coolant conditioner as a stopgap for certain model years, a band-aid, not a cure. Expect failures somewhere around 90,000 to 140,000 miles, with repairs often running well into the thousands. Watch for sweet smells under the hood, bubbles in the coolant reservoir, or exhaust gases pushing into the cooling system. The proper fix? MLS gaskets, freshly machined surfaces, and updated torque specs bring real longevity back. Number 11. Hyundai/Kia 2.4-liter Theta II. A nationwide recall started with a dead simple check. Cut the oil filter open and look for glitter. That metallic shimmer told owners the 2.4-liter Theta II had a much deeper problem lurking inside: Machining debris left behind in oil galleries and on crank components choked lubrication, chewing through rod bearings until they knocked and spun, often well before 100,000 miles. Extended drain intervals only gave those metal particles more time to circulate and destroy. Hyundai and Kia eventually rolled out the KSDS software update, a vibration-based safeguard that flags bearing damage early and can force limp mode, helping warranty claims and engine replacements move faster for affected owners. Number 12. Nissan 2.5-liter QR25DE. The Nissan 2.5-liter QR25DE seems tame enough until the idle turns lumpy and the dipstick reads suspiciously low. Those are your early warning signs. Timing chains stretch as oil ages and breaks down, tensioners lose authority, and plastic guides wear thin. Early pre-catalytic converters mounted close to the manifold crack apart over time, and exhaust reversion can pull ceramic fragments back into the cylinders, scoring the walls and dropping compression. Some early intake manifolds had butterfly valve screws that backed out and got ingested, adding piston and valve damage to an already growing bill. You'll hear startup rattles, watch oil consumption climb, and scan codes like P0011 or P0014. Expect trouble between 80,000 and 130,000 miles. Counter it with a pre-cat delete or updated manifold, a full chain kit, and strict short oil intervals. Now, let's talk about Mini's notorious N14. Number 13. Mini Cooper 1.6-liter Turbo N14. Go-kart steering, quick spool, and then a maintenance trap you feel right in your wallet. The N14's direct injection leaves the intake valves completely unwashed, so oily crankcase vapors bake into thick carbon deposits. Airflow drops, power fades, the idle stumbles, and misfires set in. Meanwhile, the timing chain tensioner and guides lose control, and that dreaded cold start death rattle is your early warning before a chain skip bends valves. This joint PSA and BMW design also punishes anyone who stretches oil intervals. Sludge starves the tensioner and chokes the turbo's oil feed line, which can coke up and cut off lubrication entirely. BMW issued TSBs and superseded the problem parts. Expect walnut blasting every 50,000 to 60,000 miles and repair bills that climb fast once things start to go. Watch that 40,000 to 80,000 mile window closely. Short oil intervals, upgraded chain components, and a refreshed turbo feed line are what keep this engine alive. 13 engines, 13 patterns of the same basic story. Shortcuts in materials, aggressive service intervals, and designs that trade long-term durability for short-term efficiency numbers on a spec sheet. The good news? Now you know exactly what to look for before you buy, and exactly what to stay on top of if you already own one. If this video saved you from a bad purchase or helped you understand what's happening under your hood, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we've got more deep dives like this coming every week. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you been burned by any of these engines? I want to hear your story. Until next time, do your research, change your oil, and don't trust the maintenance schedule the accountants wrote. I'll see you in the next one.